The old man sat by the river, a fishing line in his hand. He looked like any quiet retiree. No one would have guessed the scars beneath his sleeve or the steel in his gaze. But when screams echoed from the rapids and a family's joy turned to terror, the river would reveal a secret. The quiet fisherman was a former ranger, and some instincts never truly die. Welcome to the Untold Human Stories. If you believe everyday moments can reveal extraordinary courage, please hit that subscribe button, like this video, and share it with someone who needs to hear it. Now, let's dive into this story of a peaceful day turned perilous and a hero hidden in plain sight. Arthur Vance was 65, with sun-weathered skin and hands calloused from years of hard work. Every Tuesday, he'd find his spot by the old bridge, a quiet stretch of the river bend. The local kids, splashing upstream, barely noticed old man Arthur, a harmless part of the scenery. What they didn't know was that Arthur Vance had once been Major Arthur Art Vance, a decorated Army Ranger. For 20 years, from dense jungles to arid deserts, he'd faced unimaginable danger, led elite units, and made life-or-death decisions in fractions of a second. After retiring at 45, he'd traded combat boots for fishing waders, seeking a peace the world rarely offered. He thought that part of his life was long over. It was a perfect summer afternoon. Upstream, a family enjoyed their inflatable raft. 2 parents, a young boy, and a little girl, maybe 5. They drifted lazily towards a gentle curve, but heavy rains had turned it into treacherous rapids overnight. Suddenly, a woman's scream pierced the quiet. "Help! We're stuck! The rapids!" The raft hit a submerged log. It bucked violently. The little girl was thrown overboard, immediately caught in the swift current, her tiny head barely visible. The parents screamed, helpless. Arthur heard the screams. His fishing rod dropped unnoticed. In an instant, old man Arthur vanished. Major Vance reemerged. His mind, sharpened by years of extreme combat, processed the scene in a flash: distance, current, obstacles. The girl was drifting rapidly towards jagged rocks, a deadly trap. Without a second thought, Arthur moved. No hesitation. He shed his waders and shirt, revealing faint crisscrossing scars, silent testaments to a past life. His movements were precise, efficient. He sprinted along the bank, his eyes locked onto the struggling child. His years of training kicked in. The objective was clear: save the child. Arthur dove into the roaring water. The cold shock hit him, but his body remembered. He cut through the current with powerful practice strokes. He reached her just as she was about to be swept past, pulling her to his chest. He fought the river's pull, inching towards a calmer eddy. With an immense surge of strength, he pulled himself and the gasping child onto the muddy bank. She coughed, sputtered water, then started to cry. A sound of life. The parents, safely recovered by another local, rushed to their daughter, tears streaming. "You saved her! You saved our little girl!" the mother sobbed. Paramedics and police arrived. The family was reunited, overwhelmed with relief and gratitude. "Sir, are you okay?" a paramedic asked. Arthur just nodded. "Just a bit winded. Glad she's safe." The police chief approached. "Mr. Vance, what you did was incredibly brave. You're a hero." Arthur offered a small smile. "Just happened to be in the right place, Chief." Anyone would have done the same. He refused interviews, declined photos. As the crowd gathered, he simply slipped away, picking up his forgotten fishing rod and cap. The sun was beginning to set. He walked back to his quiet spot, casting his line back into the now calmer water. To the family, Arthur Vance was a miracle. To the local community, he was a brief news story, a brave old man. But beneath the surface, he was still Major Arthur Vance, a ranger who answered the call, even when he thought his days of combat were long over. He didn't seek glory. He simply did what was necessary, then returned to his peaceful life, carrying his untold stories with him. Sometimes the greatest heroes walk among us, unnoticed. They don't wear capes or seek recognition. They just answer the call silently, powerfully, and then return to their ordinary lives, their extraordinary past, a secret whispered only to the wind. If Arthur's story inspired you, remember, true heroism isn't about recognition. It's about being ready when the moment calls. And sometimes that moment comes when you least expect it.